My name is Jack Talk CFB, the #1 expert on Mountain West and Pac-12 football, and here is the breakdown of every transfer portal pickup Spencer Danielson and Boise State made entering the 2026 season. Let me know which team you want to be next in the comments below. First up, we have a linebacker by the name of Logan Brantley transferring in from Kansas. Going back in time, he went to Colorado Powerhouse High School, Cherry Creek, where he won a state title as a senior with 53 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 6 interceptions. He had 14 high school offers, with major ones coming from Arizona, Kansas, Colorado, and Washington State. After taking visits with the Buffaloes and Cougars, he would end up committing to Kansas in 2023. He redshirted that first season, seeing his first collegiate action against Missouri State and Illinois. Then in 2024, he played the first 4 games of the year, seeing 23 total snaps before missing the rest of the season with an injury. And then in 2025, he got his most playing time of his career so far, playing in all 12 games for the Jayhawks, recording 8 tackles with 1.5 tackles for loss, including half a sack against future conference foe Fresno State. I currently have the former blue chip recruit in line for a starting job for the Broncos as long as he can rise to the occasion. Next up, we have veteran wide receiver Darren Morris transferring in from FCS Southern. Despite setting program records while leading Southern University Lab High School to a state title, Morris's lone offer was from the satellite school of the Jaguars. After redshirting in 2022, he put up 247 yards on 11 catches as a redshirt freshman, as well as breaking a school record with a 98-yard touchdown catch against Lincoln. Then in 2024, he got even better with 37 catches for 434 receiving yards. And then in 2025, he led the team with 430 receiving yards, 26 catches, and 3 touchdowns, and was able to increase his yards per catch by nearly 5 yards from 11.7 to 16.5. He should be a starting outside wide receiver for Boise State, and he could really take the offense to the next level if he or anyone else in that receiving corps can reach an all Pac-12 level. Next up, we have our first Division II transfer of the video in defensive tackle Mikaio Edward from Central Washington. He will have 2 more years of eligibility. After being an all-conference selection out of Federal Way High School, he committed to Central Washington, which was his only offer in 2023. He got his first collegiate tackle as a freshman against Midwestern State, and then in 2024 won Lone Star Conference Defensive Freshman of the Year after playing in all 12 games with 24 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And then in 2025, he got even better, being named to the Lone Star Conference first team with 41 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks. Edward may end up being a depth piece for his first year on the blue, but overall, he's an active interior pass rusher that should be able to work his way onto the field at some point this season. We'll see if his talents translate from Division II to the FBS. Next up, we have senior long snapper Caden Kell, who has quite the journey. He was a 3-year starter at long snapper and on the offensive line for Ravenwood High School, which produced big alumni such as Graham Barton and Van Jefferson. His only offer out of high school was to Utah State, which he took and went there in 2022. He redshirted his lone season in Logan after not seeing it in the action and transferred to Missouri State. He saw his first career action there with the Grizzlies against Utah Tech, playing 3 snaps there before transferring again to Weber State. He would not see any action in 2024, backing up 4-year starter Grant Sands for the Wildcats. But then after that, in 2025, he finally got his chance to shine, starting all 12 games with a very solid PFF grade of 71.6 over his 118 snaps. And with Kellow being the lone long snapper on the roster, he is going to be the Broncos starter in all likelihood. Next up, we have a big-time pickup in JeRico Washington Jr., who is a corner from Kennesaw State with 2 years of eligibility remaining. He was a star at Westlake High School in Atlanta, where Cam Newton and Pac-Man Jones came from, and put together a senior year with 45 tackles, 3 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, and 4 blocked kicks. He would have no high school offers, though, and would end up walking on at nearby Kennesaw State. He redshirted his first season in 2023, but was still able to lead the team with 3 interceptions along with 15 tackles. Then in 2024, in the Owls' first season in the FBS, he was named to the CUSA freshman team team and second team after putting up 59 tackles, 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, and 3 forced fumbles. He was just as good as 2025 with 52 tackles, 11 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles, and he is definitely one of the most productive transfer pickups of the cycle, and the Atlanta native has the talent to be one of the best nickelbacks in the Pac-12 immediately. Honestly, like all transfers, I could be overhyping him, or at this time next year, he'll be transferring to LSU like Ty Benefield. Next up, we have running back Harry Stewart III coming in from Kansas. He will have 3 years of eligibility. The Frisco, Texas native became a blue-chip prospect after posting 1,200 rushing yards and 13 total touchdowns at Centennial High School. He ended up taking visits to schools like Baylor, Michigan, Michigan State, SMU, TCU, and Indiana, but he would ultimately commit to Kansas. Joining the Jayhawks in 2024, he saw his first collegiate action in a win over Lindenwood with 7 carries for 24 yards, and also appeared in the loss against Baylor. And in 2025, he had solid production with 98 rushing yards on 21 attempts, along with 29 receiving yards and the first touchdown of his career against Wagner, although he did not receive any touches in the final 4 weeks of the season. Despite that, if he stayed in Kansas, he would have been the top returning rusher on the team, but instead he decided to transfer to Boise State, and it's going to be a fascinating 3-horse race for running back 2. Dylan Riley has the starting job locked up, but Stewart should challenge Sire Gaines and one other transfer back we'll discuss for that secondary ball carrier role. Next up is another Division II transfer in Tyler Ethridge, who is a senior offensive lineman coming in from Colorado State-Pueblo. He was a very solid offensive tackle prospect coming out of Midlothian High School in Texas, but did not get too much recruiting attention, so he ended up going to CSU Pueblo. Joining the Thunderwolves in 2023, started 5 games at left tackle as a true freshman before starting the next 24 games across the next 2 seasons, being named to back-to-back All-RMAC first teams. Ethridge is projected to battle with junior Kyle Cox for the starting right tackle job, assuming that Dalen Matoyer is slid over to left tackle. Only 5 players left as we go down to safety Taebron Bennie-Powell from Notre Dame. He'll have 3 years of eligibility remaining. The 6'1" defensive back from Cincinnati was one of the top defensive backs in the state from Lakota West High School and finished his career with over 100 tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, and 7 touchdowns. He had offers from schools like Kentucky, Pitt, West Virginia, and Duke, but once Notre Dame offered him, he committed to them pretty quickly thereafter. After redshirting in 2024, he would make his collegiate debut against Syracuse, playing 14 snaps and getting his first career tackle. It's tough to get a read on TBP with so little collegiate film, but I currently have him projected as the 3rd to 4th safety on the depth chart. Next up, we have the other running back pickup for Boise State in sophomore Juelz Goff from Pitt. He had a legendary career at Central York High School in Pennsylvania, tallying over 1,600 yards and 31 touchdowns as a senior. And he was also teammates with Bo Perbula, which is pretty cool. He had a handful of Power 4 offers from teams like Rutgers, Duke, Pitt, and Boston College, but he ultimately stayed in-state and committed to the Pitt Panthers. He would redshirt in 2024, but did appear in 3 games with 99 total yards, including 31 rushing yards in the Sports Bowl loss against Toledo. And then in 2025, Goff had an excellent year with 270 rush yards, 5 rushing scores, and 93 receiving yards. His role did regress throughout the season. He started the year averaging 9 carries a game. That's through his first 5 contests. And then he was under 4 carries a game on average for the rest of the season. Like we mentioned with Harry Stewart III from Kansas, Goff will be duking it out with Sire Gaines for the running back 2 role, but the York product may have the inside track with versatility that looks like it can fill the void left by Malik Sherrod. Next up, we have a freshman corner coming in by the name of Cam Jamerson. He's transferring in from TCU. He spent time at 3 different high schools, those being Centennial in 2022, Etiwanda in 2023, and Shadow Creek in 2024. He didn't play a ton as a senior, but did run track and was a pretty sought-after 3-star recruit. Had offers from schools like Washington, Syracuse, Louisville, but did end up taking visits to TCU, Kansas State, and Houston. Ultimately, did end up committing to the Horned Frogs and redshirted his 1 year there in 2025. It's hard to say with no college tape to speak of, but Jamerson should contend for snaps immediately. I currently have the 6'1" corner slotted in on the second line. Our second to last player here is one of my favorites, and that's junior safety Roman Tillmon coming in from South Dakota. The son of Quincy Tillmon, who was an All-American running back at Division II Emporia State, Roman was dominant as a senior at Fort Osage High School in Independence, Missouri, earning all-state honors after posting 146 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles as a senior. Despite all that, he didn't have any FBS offers and only one FCS offer from South Dakota, which he took. He would play in 6 games in 2023, but was able to redshirt with 2 of those games being in the playoffs and recorded the first 3 tackles of his collegiate career against Western Illinois. Then in 2024, he played in all 14 games with 3 starts, notching 19 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. And then in 2025, he was tremendous, starting all 15 games, posting 94 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. And he also had a career high of 14 tackles against Northern Colorado. With Ty Benefield off to Baton Rouge, don't be surprised if Tillmon becomes the new star in the secondary. He's got the size, speed, and tackling ability to lead the defense in 2026. We'll see if I'm overrating him a bit, but I expect he'll be one of the most impactful transfer pickups of the Pac-12 season. And last but not least, the final Boise State transfer we're going to talk about is offensive lineman Zander Esty, coming in from Oregon State with 2 years of eligibility. He was a 3-year all-conference selection at Placer High School in Auburn, California, which is the same place that produced former 5-star defensive tackle Eddie Vanderdoes. Esty had a good amount of interest coming out of high school, taking visits to Oregon State and Cal, but ultimately he did pick the Beavers. He redshirted in 2023 before seeing his first collegiate action against Idaho State and San Diego State in 2024. And then as a sophomore this past season, he got his first extended playing time, playing in 11 of 12 games, seeing some real action at center, left guard, and right guard, even playing all 3 positions in the same game in the season finale against Washington State. Another addition that I'm very high on, SD should slot in as a starter somewhere on the offensive line for Boise. My best guess right now would be center. Someone will be shifting inside to take on snapping duties, and if Roger Carrion doesn't want to move, I think the former Beaver is the man for the job. That was a breakdown of every transfer portal pickup Spencer Danielson and Boise State made entering the 2026 season. Thank you for watching, and let me know which team you want to be next in the comments below.